time to get geeked up.
But I guess with that, we'll end our string of interviews with our most recent, well, I guess one of them was our most recent guest, but one of them was the winner of a game time that we didn't even play in studio.
Yeah, that's true.
We played it at Citi Field, baby. We had our guest, Jerry Seinfeld, on the show. No, I wish.
I mean, kind of. I'm claiming Geeked
we had
Up.
The two runner-ups.
But you're right. Yeah,
course,
definitely one of the most epic moments in our 5 years, as we've talked about, but not taking place in the studio on the Geeked Up field trip to Citi Field, one of my great, cherished places on earth as a big Mets fan. But we took the show on the road for Seinfeld night at Citi Field to collect our Seinfeld in front of a brick wall bobblehead. And like Devin said, an impromptu game time for the ages going down with my good high school.
We wore our Puffy Pirate shirts and big winners and prizes all around.
Exactly. We strap on puffy shirts and 90s mullet wigs. And like we said, one of my best friends from high school, John Afromsky, plays a Geeked Up game time for the ages. And I guess that's the clip that we'll play, a live exclusive iPhone audio of the Geeked Up Boys at Seinfeld night at Citi Field.
Please welcome my co-host tonight, Jerry Seinfeld. Are you fucking kidding me? The original title of the novel War and Peace.
War, what is it good for?
War, what is it good for? When Kramer told me that I had agreed to wear a white puffy shirt so similar to the one you're wearing, during my appearance on the Today Show, I explained, but I don't want to be What brand alcohol did George, who fancied himself to read my eyes,
It's a Titleist!
the blowhole of the whale, John?
Titleist! Titleist! Yeah!
I guess that'll officially reunite us with the entire crew from Seinfeld night. Of course, the Geeked Up Boys with our loyal accountant Mike.
What's up?
As well as, of course, the official, much to my chagrin, the official Seinfeld night trivia champion. Not the Geeked Up champion, but the official Seinfeld night trivia champion. And my good friend from high school, John Afromsky, the Zinger.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on, boys?
Now, he's the only one that's technically kind of breaking the rule here because technically he was never on the podcast. Accountant Mike came in and did the breakdown of the Mets game with us and did our trivia challenge. But, I mean, you get to break the golden rule here because
that's true.
You were here wearing the puffy shirt at the Mets game, and lo and behold, you had the best seat in the house because you winded up on field with the goddamn guy.
Yeah, it was all strategy. I boxed you guys in, made sure to take the aisle just in case, It was more for a foul ball. I wanted to make sure that he was rolling down the aisle.
Okay, nice. So there was strategy behind the aisle, though.
Oh, yeah. It goes back to high school, and Dave Feldman lifted my hand up as the ball rolled along the dugout. I'll never
I was there for that one. The epic foul ball contest versus Feldman.
That was a friend that was very close to getting punched.
I think the other thing, too, is that helped him out is he was not wearing the wig, not wearing the 11 wig.
Yeah, that's been a long sense of speculation for me. That's our claim. Is that the only reason you got on? What do you think the wig, like, I guess, scale of 1 to 10, how ridiculous did we look in the wigs?
Oh, 15. It was.
Yeah, that was really where we really went wrong with those goddamn wigs.
Yeah, it was like the lowest grade lunch lady wig you could find.
I swear to God, it was like one of those it was like they had the lighting all right in the costume shop. Because I swear to God, in the fucking in the costume shop, that thing was perfect.
Yeah. I mean, even looking at some of the pictures of it, it doesn't look terrible. But, yeah, being there was pretty sweaty. But also, I mean, you can appreciate, we talked about it on the show, but, like, was that not, like, the closest to being a celebrity you've ever felt of just, like, walking around Citi Field? People like, no, Coffee Shirt, can we get a picture?
Yeah, I guess before we get to the actual on the field, take us from the Danish beer garden to the seats. What was it like in your perspective?
We walk into that beer garden, and it was constant approval. There was not a single person. Everybody was giving us high fives, thumbs ups. Like, we're actually getting some looks from the ladies too, which but
it's really not a bad looking shirt.
Approval on that.
Now, did you have any doubts that I was actually showing up with a puffy shirt for you? Did you think that I was just talk when I said that my podcast was going dressed up as?
Having known you since we were 16 years old, there's not 8. I had no doubts. And yeah, no, I knew that was happening.
That's true.
Now, Captain Mike, you being the one that time in the pictures too, we seen on Facebook of not wearing the puffy shirt. Do you regret now, looking back, not wearing the puffy shirt, or do you still stand by just blending in with the crowd?
It's just a horrible picture of me in general. So, a puffy shirt or not. But no, I don't regret it. I stand by my decision.
Now, do you wish that you would have done? Now, do you wish you would have done your original plan and shown up with the with your blazer and bra, Sewell and Mishki combo? Because that would really put the whole experience over the top.
Especially with the hairy chest, I think it really would have been a good laugh. So maybe I should have done that.
And before we talk about you actually getting to go on the field and all of our crazy reaction and the people reacting around us too when they realized it was you, we got to give honorable mention to the other all-star of the game, which was that fucking guy sitting in front of us with his girlfriend throwing up all over herself.
Yes. How great was that chick? She literally, think about the fact that she literally threw up on the field during the national anthem and was able to, like, totally, so you stay the entire game, nobody came up, nobody asked any questions.
Eat your heart out, Kaepernick.
Leaving early. He was not going home before the 9th. He didn't even know.
No, seriously.
Yeah, too bad we don't have that guy's Zoom information. We would have got him on here.
Oh my gosh. I think we've already had Ron the waiter on this special.
But lo and behold, like we were saying, the someone that worked for Citi Field came up and said something to you. Do you want to do trivia night maybe later? We think we have somebody else. They pull you. They lo and behold, they come back. They pull you away. And at this point, the one guy I already got to meet on the big screen, got to meet the Soup Nazi. We already knew Seinfeld was there. He threw out the first pitch. I remember debating with Liam if Seinfeld was even going to be there.
Yeah, I was going to say we didn't all know Seinfeld was going to be there because you lost the easiest $20 in my life. But
for throwing a heater over the plate and throwing his jacket down and really putting on a show for the fans.
For sure,
that's true. He also did
to make an appearance. Like he truly does love the Mets, and he wanted to make sure that Seinfeld night was, he wanted the fans to get their money's worth, and we got to give Jerry some credit for really. Taking his fandom seriously. I got a lot more respect for him now.
Well, yeah, and I guess we're about to find out why, too, because...
you better say that.
They pulled you away, and me and Liam were kind of looking at each other, debating. I was just like, dude, I think he's going to actually meet Seinfeld and do this shit with Seinfeld. We kind of thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, you want to maybe just take it from there since we haven't got a chance to talk to you on the show, and just like after you left us at the seats and got whisked away by the corporate overlords, what happens next?
So basically, these 3 Citi Field employees just walked me through the entire stadium, and I'm pretty nervous, and I don't want to say anything stupid, or I have no idea what to expect.
Now, did they tell you that you were going to meet Seinfeld, or you just they follow me and start walking?
Yeah, so they don't. So they say follow me, and we start walking, and then at some point we get to I guess it's like a service area of the underbelly of the stadium where deliveries are coming through, and it's all basically just food prep stuff, and they're like, okay, so you're gonna meet Jerry, and at that point I had kind of thought that was, I was hoping that was gonna happen, so then we confirmed it, and and so we walk and we kind of get to this like opening where it's just this wide, basically just like a wide driveway that has a big gate in front of it that leads to the field, and there's a pickup truck and Jerry and a bunch of other people, and
so crazy.
Jerry's just sitting back there because we did, I guess, post on Facebook, but the behind the scenes from, I guess, like the Mets Instagram or whatever, but
yeah, so they were videoing the whole interaction or whatever. And I walk up in this ridiculous looking puffy shirt.
He loved it.
And he loved it. Like, he immediately burst out laughing when he saw me. And and he said, "Where'd you get the shirt?" I was just like, Halloween store. Like, I didn't buy it. Like,
Your one mistake of the night, you didn't shout out the Geeked Up Podcast, but I guess we'll overlook that.
In hindsight, I should have. So he's laughing, and he run me through the whole thing. Like, okay, you're gonna get on the truck, you're gonna go out in the field, and then Jerry's gonna come out. There's gonna be a big ovation, and then he's gonna ask you questions. And fortunately, they got rid of the clock, because like you're only supposed to have like a certain amount of time to answer all of your questions, and they're paying you for each one you get right. So it's like, how many can you get right in 30 seconds? Yeah. But Jerry doesn't know this. Like, so Jerry's just taking his time, and he's hamming it up to the crowd, and he's reading the questions slowly, and he's going.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So SNY just said fuck it, and they just
they told you there was going to be a clock, and then Jerry overrode that.
No, they didn't say anything. But when I watched the feed, so they sent me the SNY feed, and on it there's a clock running on it, and I was like, oh shit! This entire time where I was on there, I was supposed to answer them quickly. I had no idea. They might have told me, but I was so fucking nervous. I didn't hear it. I wasn't listening. I was just like trying not to be an idiot in front of Seinfeld, And
too late with the puffy shirt. I mean, you failed in that mission.
Now I didn't want to open my mouth and prove it further.
Could you hear the crowd yelling the answers?
Yeah, I guess that's the other big speculative controversy. But let's spill the beans. Did you know all the answers? If I ask you right now, what type of golf ball was stuck inside the blowhole?
Yeah, no. So I knew the Titleist one because that's a great episode. George being the marine biologist, and so I knew that one. But the one of them I actually didn't.
And then the other one was the puffy shirt, so that was like an obvious.
Yeah.
And the other one was War and Peace.
Yes. War and Peace I didn't know. So
that's where I would have slipped up on.
Yeah, so somebody yelled that out. Yeah, but I was kind of like slow playing it too because I don't know. I'm fucking vain and I want to be attention. So like,
yeah, dude. I mean, who wouldn't want to be sitting there? But maybe besides Accountant Mike, but who wouldn't want to be sitting there like soaking it in the glory? Like they're clapping for me and Seinfeld here.
And I have talked about it on my Mets podcast, but Fromsky is as well a lifelong Mets fan. So I mean, this is as well as a Seinfeld fan, but he's also on center field at Citi Field as a lifelong Mets fan as well. So
it was huge. So like I've been going to Mets games since I was a kid. I grew up in Brooklyn, not far from City, and my dad had a friend that was a liquor salesman, and his liquor company had season tickets that were 4 rows behind the third base dugout. And whenever they didn't have anybody to use them, he would either take me or give them to my dad, and we used to go. So I used to go all the time in the late 80s when I was a little kid, and I would watch those Dow Strawberry teams. And so I've always loved the Mets. So this was, but that was a long time ago. So, but this was the first time ever being on the field.
Yeah.
So it's really
I guess maybe that'd be an interesting question, just quick, but like, you met Seinfeld and you got on the field at center field at Citi Field. Like, what was the more kind of memorable experience? Did they kind of go hand in hand? Did one really stand out? Chit hamming it up like. Literally, you got Seinfeld cracking up at your goofy shirt and whatnot, and you're palling around with him in the catacombs, like.
I think that's a more vivid memory of actually meeting him and him like doubling over at my fucking shirt, you know, and him, you know, me telling him that it's from a Halloween costume. So that's probably the more vivid memory. But being on the field, it's kind of crazy because you don't realize how big that stadium is when you're looking up at 40,000 people. Like it's kind of like, because you're not in that position ever as a normal person. Like if you're an athlete or
I agree with you. I got to do it once without a crowd there. I went to the Beer and Bacon Fest, and somebody snuck us into the VIP section, which was like on the field, like right at like home plate. And got to like walk out to home plate and look around, and then spit on it because I'm a Phillies fan. I was like,
I was gonna say that's VIP at the Bacon Fest right there, home plate.
yeah. But I get what you're saying, dude. You look up and you're just like, it's insane. Of just like,
it's a lot different looking up than looking down.
And the roar when Jerry came out was really loud. So it's like you've got all these people just going nuts for Jerry, and it was really.
I love really that part of the clip of like my iPhone audio of it, just because you hear as like me and Devin and Mike slowly putting together that you're coming out there, and Seinfeld, they like unveil Seinfeld, and me and you just lose it. Me and Devin just lose it. But that
was pretty awesome, dude. And of course, the roaring reception you got back when you came back to our section, us schmoes, you know, who only got to watch it. Even when you came back, our whole like little crowd went fucking bonkers.
Yeah. Well, the crowd was already fans of us because of our ridiculous outfits and your signs.
And the signs, that's right.
So you guys have been putting signs up since before the game, and so we've already become fan favorites for our section.
I did, by the way, scour the video on SNY, and I never saw us on TV. One cameraman, I think, just lied to us and told us that he put us on. But
that's right.
I don't know how they missed us, though.
He's like, you guys were on TV a bunch.
Yeah, we're an asshole.
So it was definitely a warm welcome coming back to like a bunch of 8-year-olds, you know, like yeah, and like a bunch of drunk dudes like giving me high fives.
Yeah,
sure.
In my life.
People in front of us just throwing up. That's how excited they were.
And we all should have been celebrating that chick, really. You still come in second place to her.
Her head was in his lap for 50% of the game, and I couldn't tell if she was giving him a blowjob or if she was just sick. Or maybe both. Like, I really just couldn't tell.
First one, then?
But after all that, me and Liam on the episode decided to do our own Seinfeld trivia against him and ourselves, or him and me, to see who was the Seinfeld expert. And we had Accountant Mike, of course, come on and moderate the trivia contest for us.
And really laid out some Seinfeld trivia himself, if you recall. He was really far more impressive than me or Devin. We're all Mike's fun facts.
Yeah, I had a few things to add, but you guys held your own, though.
Well, I think Liam creamed me in the trivia contest, but if you remember, he asked us a question at the end of the episode and tried to line us up. They were all Twix.
I tried to pull a Costanza, pad the lineup.
Yeah, where Liam asked us which one of the said actresses ended up banging Jerry in one of the episodes, and he was a string of actresses. Did Jerry Banger? And his whole trying to got him was that he banged all of them. It was all the actresses, but one of them was Terry Hatcher, who, if you remember, he never banged because he wanted to see if her tits were real or not, and he never got to find out. So.
Yeah,
we really won that contest.
I mean, I guess, after all that, Mike was officially, because Mike did get he did win the Jerry Banger game because he guessed Terry Hatcher, even without realizing that it was on a blind guess. So he, I guess, was ruled the second place Seinfeld trivia champion.
That's right. And then Mike, you had a good time.
Still came ahead of Devin, though.
Yeah, easily. I won that Big Bang one, though.
Nobody will ever take that
Mike,
away from me.
You had a good time on the show, though. It was your first time doing a podcast, if I remember correct.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish I had more that I said, but but no, it was a great time, and I was very impressed with the studio. You know.
Yeah, I mean, can you confirm that we do record in the closet and then the hallway in front of my bathroom?
Yes, and it certainly feels that way too. It's very cramped and
I know that this is pre the days of social distancing because we can't get 6 feet away in my.
Yeah, for sure. But guys, thanks for being on and kind of reliving the big moments again. It was once in a lifetime kind of experience.
Yeah,
I'm glad
for
we all
sure.
got to share together. Mike, of course, thanks for being on that episode and moderating the trivia for me and Liam.
Sir.
I know
Rigging
you
it.
guys.
I guess should we tell Devin that you had given me the questions in advance, so I was able to study, and it was all a big.
Yeah, really. But again, guys, thanks. I know neither of you have said it, but thanks for the big 5-year anniversary. Congratulations.
Congrats, guys. Well deserved.
Well done. Well done.
Go 50 more.
Well, we appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. When this whole quarantine thing's over, let's go fucking hit up another Mets game, all right?
Damn right.
For sure.
Yeah, our
Serenity now,
plans
fellas.
of 2020 Elf Night have apparently been called off, but when things resume, we'll get back to Citi Field.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Hey! Who baby?